Hello, everyone. I'm Sara Connell, and I am so excited to be here today with just one of my favorite people on the planet. I'm just going to go ahead and say that, Marjie. I'm going to let you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and this incredible new book. Marjie is now a best-selling author of a brand new book, The Power, I'm pointing at it right behind her there, The Power of PR Parenting. And I can't wait for you all to hear about what is PR parenting. As a mom, I'm always interested in a great book that's going to help me be a better parent, have more connection with my child, support my child. And I've been eagerly anticipating, Marjie, finishing this book, excited to have been part of the journey of this book. And just want to welcome you, Marjie. Do you want to share a little bit about who you are, where you live, and then we'll get into what the book's about?
Well, I am thrilled to be here with you, Sarah. And I want to thank you to begin with for identifying this book and the PR parenting movement that it's a part of, the tool, as something that's important and that can actually resonate internationally and help people worldwide. That's probably the most exciting thing, that this is a book that can help families no matter where they are. It is not geographic specific. It is not specific to moms or dads.
Yeah.
Everybody's included, everybody's invited, everybody can benefit, looking through the public relations lens to address the fun stuff and the challenging stuff. And I've been in public relations for 30 years. I hate to date myself, but there you have it. And 25 of those, well, actually 26 of those have been spent applying my professional expertise to raising my children. I didn't know I was doing it while I was doing it.
Yeah.
Until literally when I first started writing this book.
Yeah.
The topic was actually my daughters, my older daughters.
Right.
And she had said, Mom, you made mistakes, but overall, I think you got it right. You should write a book to help today's parents have an easier time based on your experience and expertise. So that was kind of liftoff. And today, what I'm finding is that it is helping people, which is the biggest charge for me, because that's the whole point of the exercise.
Yes.
To help today's moms, dads, and it turns out teachers, grandparents, anybody who has kids in their lives can benefit.
Yeah.
And it's just really an exciting movement with this book as a tool and the workbook. There's a free workbook because I wanted everybody to, because I wanted everybody to have a tangible action plan at the end of each chapter, because there's stories, there's personal stories, there's professional stories. I'll tell you how I did it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you about my successes. I'll tell you about my failures. So mirror the successes. Don't mirror the failures.
Right.
Skip the hiccups. And then I'm going to show you how you can apply the same exact thing in your world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get to answer the questions. And then with the workbook, get into it, and then you have that action plan in your hand. And ultimately, the goal is to help your kids to build their self-esteem, their resilience, their confidence, their self-love, and have some level of success, however you define success, because that can come in all different ways, shapes, and forms.
Yes.
And to ultimately, if we have all these kids who feel good about themselves, then hopefully we build a kinder, more respectful world that can resonate for generations to come.
It's so exciting. So I love what you've done here. I always think some of my favorite books are when someone creates an unexpected juxtaposition, right? Our brain loves that. We know that from simile and metaphor. It's like foundational to our language. And you've done that in a book. And I think great thought leaders often do this in a book, where you take two things we think don't go together: international public relations and parenting. And a really wise mentor once told me, he said, don't just study what people in your field and world are doing, look to other industries and what can you apply? And you've given us that with this. And, we have our bag of tricks as parents, like, here are my tools, here are my routines. And it's so exciting when someone can give us, another framework, another way to look at it. And I love a workbook. So everyone needs to go get Marjie's book, and then you can go online at the book portal and online on Marjie's website, and you can get the workbook, because I love to implement. I don't just want to read it and think I didn't do anything. I want my kid and I to be closer. I want him to feel more empowered. And so it's really exciting what you've done, Marjie. I'd love to talk a little bit about, a lot of people, 200 million people in America. You're in Israel, I'm in America right now at the time of this recording. 200 million people, even just in America alone, say, I want to write a book, right? And then a lot of people just fantasize about it, talk about it. It's a fun thing while they're having a glass of wine at a friend's house. And you've done it. Okay. So you're standing here at the other side, having actually gone the distance, written the book, revised the book, gotten the book published. Look how beautiful. It's so good. Look at that.
Sarah, it has pages.
Right? There are words. You can touch
It's a
it.
real book.
And it's a bestseller. And I would love everybody to hear a little bit about your launch event last week, because, people sometimes really get into, I do the book and then, that's it. But you're in PR, you understand that that's just almost the beginning. So can we hear a little about the party? Like, let's tell everybody a little bit about what you created for your launch already. I know a lot of things are going to be happening, and who showed up, because there was a very special guest speaker, I believe. So share a little about that.
Well, okay. First of all, you can write the book, but if nobody knows about it, just like anything, you can have a great idea, but if nobody knows about it, then it evaporates, which is one of the things I tell my clients anyway. You can have the most fantastic idea, but one, you have to share it, and you have to share it clearly so that the message is received the way that it is intended. So same difference for my book launch. I just try to tell as many people as I possibly could in the months leading up to the launch that it existed.
Yeah.
In whatever venue, whatever avenue I could. And it was a lot of networking and a lot of interviewing and a lot of meeting really wonderful, wonderful people. I have to give a shout out to those podcasters and to the people that I've been talking to in interviews. They've been absolutely fantastically supportive. So, mwah. Then the party. Okay, so look, at the core of it, Sarah, we are birthing a book, right? It's like having another kid for at least for me, minus the epidural. And I decided to make a birthday party. So I thought, okay, how am I going to make a birthday party? Well, there's always the entertainment and some sort of fun presentation, and there's always a family element, and you want to have some fun and prizes, and you want to have some music, and of course you want to toast at some point, and you can't have a birthday party without a cake and a candle, right? And I like the sparkly kind, the ones that
yes
make lots of
big sparkler. I love those.
Big sparkle kind of thing. So we had two wonderful guest speakers. One was Fleur Hassan Nahum, who is the deputy mayor of Jerusalem in charge of international relations. And she is amazing, just spectacular. And we also had Dr. Kathy Hirsch-Pasek, who is the leading early learning childhood researcher and psychologist in the United States. She's a professor at Temple University, and if anybody knows, Kathy knows. And so they both made lovely, lovely remarks, and I am very, very grateful. We also had the music from award winner Emma G, who is a pop star, Grammy backed, amazing, lovely, and she also empowers teenagers through songwriting and music. And we had a spin of the wheel for prizes. And I think the most important guest of all, quite frankly, if I may be direct, were my kids and my husband, because this book would not have been possible without the agreement of my children and my husband to tell our story. They all approved the stories in advance. And I am very grateful that I'm in the public relations industry, because without that, this combination wouldn't be possible.
Right.
So you were saying, why put PR and parenting together? What a weird thing. And someone even described it to me as like chalk and cheese. Well, I say it's more like peanut butter and jelly, or my actual preference would be peanut butter and chocolate.
Yes.
You take two
together. Yes.
You take two unlikely things, put them together, and you get something really, really sweet. And frankly speaking, outstanding. And I'm just like any other mom. I'm crazy about my kids. I want the best for them. And in retrospect, 25 years of retrospect, I can tell you that the PR parenting worked for us. And I really hope that the same will work for whoever's watching out there.
Yeah. And I know it will, because like you said, these are principles and practices and tools that we can use, whether your kid's a little bit shy or, Marjie, you've raised 3 extraordinary now young adults, right? Just extraordinary, or Marjie's
Thank you.
children are doing incredible things. And that's what we want, but they love themselves, right? It's like, yes, they're doing great things in the world. One's becoming a doctor, they've served in the military. They've, I mean, they're doing incredible things we can't talk of, certain secret missions that, I know, no one's allowed, confidential, clearance only. But the point is that there's love, there's self-esteem, I think, that's what, at least I know I want most for my child. I want him to thrive and express all kinds of wonderful ways. I want him to love himself and be passionate about life. And that's what I see in your children, your family, and your husband really, it was a lot for you to invest in this, to invest in your book, to show up, to be part of Thought Leader Academy. There's all the things that are, it's a family commitment. It's not just that those of us that are the thought leader, right? So really acknowledging, like, you have put into practice all the pieces. You went out and booked the podcast interviews. You wrote the book. You haven't just said, oh, I wrote it and I don't want to talk about it. You're using the PR experience and muscles that you have to apply. And that's why the world gets to be better and we all get to benefit. So I just want to thank you. We're so excited for you, grateful for already what's happened with the launch. And like, what are you most excited about coming up? Is there anything on the horizon that you're like, oh, I'm also excited for this to come next?
Oh, just everything.
Yeah.
I want to spread the word. I want everybody who will benefit from it, which is a lot of people, to read it. And I really just hope that it helps. I would love for anybody who reads it and gets something out of it to post a review, but also to reach out to me and let me know how it helped.
Yes.
And if they want to take it further, then we can see how we can work it out. And listen, I'm available. There's one thing that from the very, very start of this, it's to help Sara. And if you're going to help, then do it with a full heart.
Yes.
And make yourself available. So first I created the tool, both the book and then the workbook.
Yep.
And then the next step is to be available to say, hey, what else do you need?
That's it.
And if I can help, I'm here to help. Let's do it.
Good.
So that's the whole thing. Let's spread the love. And ultimately, if we can do this together, I actually said this at the party. If we start with our little village here, we had like 3 screens of people at the party, which was really, really wonderful.
Oh.
But any movement, as you know, Sara, it takes more than just the leader. You have to have the community, you have to have the village, and then the village spreads.
Yeah.
So if we can spread this PR parenting movement and get this really going internationally, which it already is, then can you imagine years to come?
Right.
And there's still PR parenting. How much better the world's going to be if everybody's more respectful and thinking before they talk.
And think of the ripples. So let's leave everyone with this. Imagine the ripples, be part of Marjie's movement, grab the book. Let's celebrate. Let's continue to, those of us that have children in our lives in any way, right? Whether you're a parent or teacher, an aunt or an uncle, grandparent, whatever role you might play. Let's up our skills. Marjie, thank you for leading us. Thank you for leading this movement. And we're so excited. We know this is only the beginning.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.